All right, it's Ron Goodall, FightHype.com. I'm here with my guy, Coach Bullet. What's going on, man?
Fight game, baby. Another day in the lab. Part three of my day headed to strength and conditioning at the park with these fighters. They got to stay in shape.
Awesome. Yo, it's been a minute, so obviously there's a lot of things that I would love to catch up with you with.
Yeah, I
And
know. It's been a minute, man.
but the first thing first is you have a fighter in the back, Senku Florian, right?
Right
AKA
here.
Mongoose. What's up,
Hey,
man?
what's up, everyone? What's up? How's it going?
Good, good, man. A little word on the street, that you wanna bring up this talented, what was it, 16
16
wins,
years
Naiva,
old. Yeah.
and 11 and 0 in USA boxing.
It's 11-0 USA boxing, 80-2 in AIBA.
Oh my goodness. And word on the street is that you want to go after Danny Garcia's newly prospects, David
Yeah,
Garcia.
we're gonna have phenom versus phenom, baby. Let's get it.
So how did this hit the radar to you? Like how did this come into fruition that this was the fight that
Well,
you wanted to
we
go?
have a group. Well, I've been trying to figure out a way to get him to go pro, anyways, because Olympics is far away and his style is very much a professional style, speed, power, agility. He's a mongoose. They call him mongoose for a reason. His movement. So, I just feel like to get into the game and fighting somebody his age that they say is a phenom, like I said, no, he's a phenom. I think it's a great way to start his career.
Seeing the fact that, David Garcia's had a couple fights already out. I think he's 3-0, two knockouts. So most times, like Devin Haney and even like David's case, like the fighter goes somewhere else, like Mexico or somewhere, they get a fight or two. So to a certain degree, he's seasoned. He knows what it feels like to be pro. So is there any concerns of, you know,
There's absolutely no concern. I feel like the world of boxing knows my nature. The world of boxing knows that I'm going to put my fighter up there against the best because I feel like my fighters are the best. So when it comes to getting the okay from belt sanctions or from promoters or commissions, I feel like I've earned that right. And when I put my stamp on somebody that I train, it's a real stamp.
Yo, Mongoose, what do you think? You ready for the big leagues to go pro, fight on a DSG card?
I think the other guy is not ready. I'm ready always for everything.
Oh
That
man.
boy's gotta be cooked. It's gotta be cooked, that cooked, bro.
Already.
I
Always
mean,
ready.
I mean, for some of the people who don't know your style, right? Because you're not pro, right? How would you guys
Exactly.
describe? How would you guys describe him?
Just think about a Prince Nassim in collaboration with a Lomachenko. And just like I said, his name is Mongoose for a reason.
Okay, help me out, coach. You want to get this fight with David Garcia, right? And if you're comparing a Prince Nassim and Lomachenko, how are you gonna get the fight? How you gonna say, yo, we want this?
Because of the age. They're both 16 years old.
Mhm.
They consider their fighter a phenom. I know my fighter's a phenom. So let's line it up and see what it is.
And you guys been talking to DSG promotions
No, not yet. This is why I'm putting it in you guys' hands so they know it's official. Because it's official. When you guys get out, people listen. So guess what? Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for them to send a contract probably tonight or tomorrow. I already told Jason Vincent, who's the president of WBF
Mhm.
title belts, that we want the smoke.
Granted, if you guys don't get the fight next, right? Or like, like they have an opponent, or would you guys continue to pursue David Garcia, knowing that now he's kind of one of those guys around his age that potentially you guys could probably meet up?
Well, the thing is, they don't have an opponent. So why not
Mhm.
accept this opponent that's a pro debut? You know what I'm saying? But they've been in Vegas, so they know exactly who it is.
So they know each other, would you say?
No, I said they know from talk.
Oh,
Once they
okay.
put Mongoose name out there, they'll know.
Okay. So they've heard of him. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, before obviously I let you guys go because I know that you guys are getting ready to do a whole bunch of strength conditioning training, boxing out at the what location out in Vegas?
Yeah, a location in Vegas. Charlie Frey's Park.
Okay. And obviously, nothing short when it comes to Coach Bullet. And obviously, um, you were one of the few guys out there who spoke, highly of Rolly, even after, you and Rolly were no longer working. And, I know there's obviously belief that you've always had that he was going to beat Ryan Garcia, but just want to get your thoughts because I think 99.9% of the world thought it was Ryan. And for a lot of people, trainers and fighters, they may split. Sometimes you see the trainer or the fighter kind of like, all right, I'm going against the grain, but you stuck with Rolly on the pick and he went and dropped Ryan and won. So what was your
Right.
reaction?
See, the thing is about we have a relationship with the fighter, the family, and you put 9 to 10 years in with that fighter. It's kind of like fake for you to act like you really don't care about them or you don't still got love for them. Because if you really have love for them, you always gonna have love for them, even though you go your separate ways. You see what I'm saying? For whatever the reasons may be, So at the end of the day, I know what Rolly could do. And I told you guys when he was at 135 that he was the black horse out of that group of guys. I said this about maybe 5+ years ago. And now he's at the top of the food chain with the same group of guys at 47. You know what I'm saying? So one thing about boxing is you got fighters like Rolly that's unorthodox and maybe don't have enough amateur experience, but amateur and pro is two different worlds.
Hmm.
So like I tell them, the way I teach my fighters is with bone structure, speed, technique, and fundamentals. You put that all together, you have a dangerous fighter. And when people don't know your style and cannot study for that test, they can't pass. That's one of my famous lines. How you gonna pass a test that you can't study for?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
And it seemed like the sparring session kind of, I know that you were there, but kind of showed kind of
the
glimpses of,
blueprint, the
yeah.
blueprint, the blueprint. You cannot hook with a hooker. Ryan is fast, Rolly's fast and strong with the hook. You throw a hook at me, I'm with the hook back at you. Now whoever lands the cleaner shot is gonna destroy the other guy. Rolly kept his right hand up, like I told him 2 weeks before the fight, because I texted him and I told him face to face in the lobby in Mayweather exactly what to do. You know what I'm saying? So I say you're the guy Ryan mentally, champ. There ain't nothing he could do to you mentally. Now you just got to go out there and execute. You
Did
feel
you
me?
did you see Ryan mentally not fight in a way where many people thought after he got dropped, he was too scared to engage and
Before
did.
he got dropped, he was scared to engage. He threw a semi-fast left hook, and Rolly was hoping and wishing for it, and just gave him a dose of his own medicine right on time. So, and then after he got dropped, it was over. You know, my in my opinion, and the world knows I would have had him finish him. But one thing I do like about what he did was he showed the world that he's more patient, and that only comes with time. See, I wanted that patience when we fought Gervonta Davis, but at that moment he was still young and still having a fights on a big scale. When I told management that we could have a couple fights before Gervonta Davis, um, that would have been a better outcome. You understand? So I'm glad that he's gained the patience, and now the rest is on him. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's not between no him and no new trainer, nothing like that. That's between a fighter developing within himself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because I could have been still there, and it would still take the same amount of time for to develop that patience.
Yeah. And I'm sure at a point when it was going down, you had probably a big smile on your face, maybe even jumped up and down in your seat,
Yeah, I
you
mean, I
know.
was there. I was there in New York.
Yeah.
In Bugatti AP from State Art Boxing. We was there chilling, celebrating with it. And everybody know from the jump who I was going for. And I got probably about 200 phone calls and texts saying congratulations. And what I'm saying, I'm like, thank you guys. But they know the deal that I don't still train them, but they know it's my work of art. It's my body of work. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just happy for them.
And I know you guys still have a good relationship, outside. So
Yeah.
it's just happy to see that, that everything worked out and, just family, and
Right.
I guess because of a lot of opportunities open up, right? And you know
Um,
him better than like almost everybody.
I know him
Just
better. He knows himself. That's the funny thing. You
that's
know what I'm
that
saying?
That's the
But that's
quote that he's been saying with Ryan, you know. So
and no, it's real. When you been around somebody for so long and you know their habits, you know their mindset. See, Ryan is not a dog. He's a good talent. He's not a dog, and he doesn't have any heart. Once you take his heart, it's over. And I'm sad to say that because he's a good fighter, but some fighters, they just don't have it. They don't have that heart. Rolly's a dog and he got heart. He just have to wait for the timing and the experience. With 35 amateur fights, I took Rolly on, made him a champion, two-time world champion, and it just needed time to develop. And now we're looking at somebody that could be, he's already a three-time world champion. You know what I'm saying?
with all the opportunities now, he mentioned that he likes the idea of fighting Pacquiao, which I know Pacquiao has to get past Mario Barrios, and he's 46. I mean, I guess does Pacquiao at his age get past Mario Barrios, who many people
He
may
will,
not give him credit?
he will get past Mario Barrios, but he won't get past Rolly.
Can you break it down? Can you?
Rolly already beat Mario Barrios up in sparring.
Oh, damn. Like recent, like
No, no,
recent?
no, no, years ago.
Okay. Do you think
Mario
Mario still?
Barrios, Mario Barrios has no heart either. Pacquiao has a ton of heart, ton of experience, and a lot of punches. You know what I'm saying? So once you get back in that ring after the third or fourth round, Barrio ass is in trouble.
You know what's crazy, and this is nothing, that I can't speak of, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you're not the first person to tell me that Mario doesn't have heart. And this is
He
not
doesn't.
me speaking to Mario as like I know, but just kind of you saying like I've heard a lot of people mention that. So I guess what is it? What is it that Mario
Look
does?
at look at what he does when he's on the gas pedal, and the minute he goes under pressure, he he fucking breaks down. He just breaks down. His fundamentals. Then when he feels it makes himself more tired once he start panicking, and all the game plan goes out the window. As good of a job as Derrick James and all these other trainers do with these fighters, you can't teach these fighters heart,
Mm.
and self pride. It's the intangibles at the top. We all could punch. We all got talent. We all got speed. We all got IQ. Now it's about the intangibles. Your willpower, your heart, the dog to you, you know, the will just to fucking win straight up.
Do you think Mario will be able to make it competitive kind of early? Because I see what you're
He
saying.
always makes it competitive early. But there's a lot of front runners. Floyd Mayweather Jr., I would always say that. Everybody's a good 4 or 6 round fighter, but then your lifestyle kicks in, your intangibles kick in, and your experience kick in. And then what?
So in this case, it's going to be competitive, and even at the age of 46, Manny will be able to still deliver late round.
Man,
You know,
listen, I keep telling people a good fighter, you never lose it, man. And if Manny is in 75% of the shape that he's been in his boxing matches, he'll win.
I know a lot of people bring up Sugar Ray Leonard and Hector Camacho, and and even other cases of fighters that kind of stood, a little bit too long.
Bernard
46,
Hopkins.
yeah. Joe, in hindsight now, Joe Smith became a WBO lightweight champion, and
Exactly.
but I guess in this case, it's like, when is it too old then for a fighter? Is it just Mario's just not at Pacquiao's level, or is it just
Yeah, it's there you go. You said it's a level thing. It's an IQ thing. It's a chess versus checkers mindset. You know, Pacquiao he's seen it all. He's gonna look at Mario in the eyes and know when it's time to go. Because fighter to fighter, when you're in that ring with somebody and you hit them to the body and they be, or they turn their head and start trying to find a way to bitch out, that's when the real killers come out. Time to shut that shit down. You feel me?
so if Rolly would happen to get a chance to fight Pacquiao? I mean, I think if he beat in one year Ryan and Pacquiao, I mean, a lot of people will look at him as potentially fighter of the year. I know people don't want to, to say that based on the
Listen,
fact.
people already had Rolly and myself as the no way, no how of boxing. How the hell this guy with 35 amateur fights, no nationals, no Olympic, nothing, come out here and become a champion? Who this damn coach we never seen before just talking shit, you know, I wasn't talking shit. I was speaking facts. To them, he was talking shit. But to me, I know what it is. I know this game. I know how to fight. So he could do it. If anybody could do it, he could do it.